Hi readers, welcome to the Reader's Garden. I'm Mrs. Gardner. Today we're going to be doing Lesson 27, Day 1, Part 2. We're back in the Reader's Garden to practice the l sound, like the sound that starts in the beginning of words like lip and log and lot. We learned in Lesson 26 that the letter L makes the l sound, and we've seen it at the beginning of words like lap and leg. Sometimes L can also be at the end of words, often after an A, like in the words pal and gal, where it spells al. We're going to explore that a bit too as we get comfortable with our ul sound. Now, did you know making the ul sound can be tricky for some of us, so we'll take time to make it strong and clear. Later on, in future lessons, we're going to learn even more about the letter L, like when it's doubled in words like the word will or well, or when it's used in endings like ul in little and purple. There's a lot that happens with the letter L. But for today, let's focus on the sound ul and jump in and have some fun with our L sounds. Before we go any further, please take a moment to like and subscribe so you never miss a lesson with me. This is also a great way that you can help support me and the work I'm doing at the Reader's Garden. So here's our plan. We're going to be doing phonemic awareness, our visual drill, then our auditory drill. We will do some blending, and then we will focus on that new concept we were just talking about. So you know that a phoneme is another way to say a sound, and we're going to be playing with all the different sounds that we hear in the next few words. So let's practice our phonemic awareness. Hi, Blenda. How are you doing? It's good to see you today. So Blenda, let's get out our blending cubes. We've got our yellow, our red, our blue. Oh, and I actually need a fourth one right now. So I'm going to say some sounds, and I would like you, my readers, to blend those sounds together so that Blenda can understand what we are trying to say. Listen as I say these sounds. L, I, l, I. I just spit a little bit. Flip, flip. There was a little spit that flew out of my mouth when I made the sound. And that's okay because that sometimes happens. Listen as I say the sounds in this word. S, l, a, g. S, l, a, g. Blend them together. Slog, slog. A slog is something that when we're describing something that's really difficult and challenging and takes a long time, like sometimes if you're doing a hike up a mountain and maybe you're sore and you're tired, you can feel like it's kind of a slog. Okay, listen as I say the sounds in this word. L, a. Now say the whole word. Flap, flap, like the flap of a bird's wings. Listen as I say the sound in this word. K, l, I, k, l, I. And say it all together. Clip, clip. Sometimes I use clips to attach one thing to another thing. Blenda, did you understand all of our blending? Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. It's good to see you. Thank you for all your help. We'll see you next time. Well, hello there, Siggy. It is good to see you. So Siggy, let's see, how many blocks do I need to start? Oh, I need 4 again. Good to know. Let me get these all lined up. So Siggy, I am going to say a word to my readers. And readers, I want you to segment out the individual phonemes. Okay, so the word is clap. The word is clap. The sounds in clap are clap, ah. Say the sounds in clap. Ah. Very good segmenting. The word is glut. The sounds in glut are g, l, t. Say the sounds in glut with me. G, l, t. Excellent. The word is flag. The word is flag. Say the sounds in flag with me. Flag. Again, flag. Fantastic. And we have one more. The word is flip. Flip. The sounds in flip are flip. Say the sounds in flip with me. Flip. Beautiful. That was fabulous segmenting. Siggy, as always, thank you for helping us today in the Reader's Garden, and we will see you next time. Adios, my friend. So let's check off our phonemic awareness practice that we have done, and that brings us, oh, I realize I need to change this to say 27. Oops. Okay, so we can check off our phonemic awareness practice, and that brings us to our visual drill. I will show you a grapheme, and you at home or at school will tell me the sound that that grapheme makes. Here we go. L spells ooh. R spells r. H spells K spells S spells S. S also spells Z at the end of a word often. Excuse me. E spells E. B spells B. G spells G. U spells A. C spells D spells D. O spells A. N spells N. I spells it. F spells F. P spells T spells T. A spells A. M spells mm. Wow, you know a lot of sounds for a lot of graphemes. Isn't that amazing? Think about where you started and think about where you are now. That is so much growth. And it can be hard to feel that growth sometimes as we're growing. But when you look back, almost like when we were talking about slogging up a mountain, when you look down at all the hiking you've done, you realize that as you were going through the slog, you were growing. Incredible. All right, so let's check off our visual drill, and it's time for that auditory drill. So this time I am going to tell you the sound, and then I want you to tell me the name of the letter that makes that sound. Now, depending on where you are and who you're doing this with, they might be asking you to listen to the sound and write down the letter. Now, if you're supposed to do that, please do that. If not, go ahead and tell me the name of the letter that makes that sound. Ul is L. Go ahead and write it and say it. Ul is L. Is R. Is R. Is H. Is H. Is K. Is K. Z is S. Z is S. S is S. S is S. A is E. A is E. B is B. B is B. G is G. G is G. A is U. A is U. D is D. D is D. Cool. Let's go ahead and check off our auditory drill, and let's go and do some blending. So if you will be writing along with me, get out those materials and pause if you need to. Otherwise, let's go head over to our blending board. We'll begin with the word lend. Lend. L-E-N-D. End. Lend. Now change lend to land. Land. And. Oh, I see what I need to change. And land. Now, what happens if I take off my N and I scoot my D closer? Lad. Lad. Please change lad to lap. 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 We're going to scoot up P in that space. Lap. Now, if I take my P and I scoot it on over to the end here and I add an M, amp, lamp, lamp. What do you need to do to change lamp to limp, limp, limp? Now, if I wanted to take off my M and bring that P one spot closer. Lip, lip. I'm going to take off my L and add a R. Rip, rip. Change rip to hip, hip. Taking off that beginning R. Hip, hip. Now I'm going to take off my P and add a T sound. Hit, hit. I'm going to take off my H and instead replace it with an L. It, lit. What do I get if I put an F here and add a T at the end? Lift, lift. Now I would like you to change lift to left. Left, left. I see, I'm going to add an E, left. And finally, if I remove my F and instead replace it with a T that I scoot over, what do I get? Let. I get let. We can erase and go on over and check off our board for the moment. Go ahead, check off your blending drill, and it's time to talk about our new concept, which is interesting in these two-part lessons because it's not totally new. We have been talking about the letter L to this point. So we learned that the letter L can spell the sound ol, like in the beginning of the word lion. When ol appears at the end of a word after the letter A, it spells al, like in words like Pal and Mal. I have a niece named Mal. Pal and Mal. Sometimes L is next to another consonant, like in the words flip and the word clog. When we see L with a consonant, we say each of the sounds separately, but we're blending them together. So let's try together with that first word. We're going to do the word flip, and I'll get out my blending cube. So the first sound, l, I, flip, flip. I hear the F and I hear the L, and together I hear fl, fl. Now let's go to this next word, clog, clog. A clog is a type of shoe. Sometimes you'll see people wearing Crocs. That type of a shoe is a clog, and sometimes they have wood on the bottom. Okay, let's sound that out. Clog, clog. I hear both the k and the o, and together they're making clog, clog. We can blend those. Now let's try these words. That first word up top, we have P-L-U-G. Plug, plug. This next word, F-L-A-T. Flat, flat. Plug and flat. You need to put a plug in a flat tire so that it stops releasing its air. I didn't even realize those words go together. So to make the ol sound, you're going to gently place your tongue just behind the top of your front teeth, as you can see in the photo there. Ol, ol. Then you turn your voice on, and you're going to let the sound flow. The ol sound is a continuous sound, which means we can stretch it out for as long as we want. Ol. Now, it's important to say ol smoothly. We don't want to add any extra sounds to it. So let's practice saying the ol sound with these two words, lion, lion, and leaf, leaf, lion, leaf. Now we're going to put that on our consonant sound wall, as we did in the past lesson as well, in tongue behind top teeth, and over next to our liquid sound, which we talked about during lesson 26. All right, so it's time for us to continue practicing how we do those letters. To do the uppercase L, you start at the top. Please use your tracing finger. Start at the top, do a straight line down, stopping at the bottom, straight line across, just like we have right there. So straight line down from the top and over. To do the lowercase L, all you're doing is one beautiful vertical line. You start at the top and do a line down to the bottom. And if you would like to practice, you know there's a link to that practice sheet below in the video description. So let's practice reading. I'm going to read that blue word first, all by myself. I see that it's 3 letters. Pal, pal. Okay, now let's do the one with the orange arrow on page 1. I see that there's 2 consonants in the beginning, so I have my consonant blend to begin with. Flop, flop. Oh, like a flip-flop, a flop. Let's go to the top of page 2. Slim, slim. Next one down, yellow arrow. Gal, gal. That's, my sister-in-law likes to refer to girls as gals. She'll be like, oh, I was talking to this gal. And it's funny, she's one of the only people I know who says gal. All right, next we have the teal arrow. Glad, glad. I'm so glad to be here with you today. Glad is another word for happy. We have our blue arrow, clop, clop. That's sort of the sound that a horse's foot makes when it touches the ground. It goes clip, clop, clip, clop. Okay, top of page 3. Oh, the L is in a different place than it's been in these words so far. Let's try this. Held, held. I was trying to make sure that my H sound got caught in my microphone there. That's a harder one. I know sometimes it gets skipped. All right, let's go to the orange arrow. Clip, clip. And let's go to the top of page 4 with our teal arrow. Club, club. And finally, our blue arrow. Ooh, 5 letters in this one. We can do it. Plant, plant. There we go. Beautiful reading. Now, please get out your materials so we can write some of these words together. The first word I would like you to write is the word clog. Clog. Let's write that when you're ready. Remember, you can always pause if you need to. Og. Clog. Clog. The next word is glad. Glad. Pause if you need to, and then we can write together. G. L. A. D. Glad. Clog. Glad. The next word I would like you to write is the word slat. 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 A slat, I think of it as like the wood rectangles that are on the back of a chair that you lean your back against. That part are the slats of the chair. All right, the next word that you have is plan. And plan. Now let's read all 4 words that we've written. Clog, glad, glad, slat, plan. Excellent writing, my friends. Excellent, excellent. That means you can go ahead and check off our new concept for lesson 27. Job well done. I am very, very proud of you. And as you know, I hope more importantly that you are proud of you. So you can give yourself a little kiss your brain, or pat on the back for a job well done. I love this time of the day with you where we get to learn and grow as readers. Before you go, please take a moment to like and subscribe so you never miss a lesson with me. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.